done being made, then we transfer it to one of these fermentation tanks. It spends about 10 days to 14 days depending on the beer. And this is where the magic happens, because that's where you have your yeast. The yeast takes the sugar in the liquid and eats it, spits out alcohol, CO2, and that's what actually creates beer. So these are also 3.5 barrel. We do have one that's 7 barrel. We got one, we figured whatever was our best seller, we would brew double. So that's usually our stout. So more of our stout than just about anything. But it's a long day when they make them. They start about 8 in the morning, brew one batch, and immediately brew a second batch. So I mean, a lot of times we're here from 8 a.m. until about 1 a.m. the next day.
This one here's bubbling.
Yeah, this one's actually fermenting right now.
Okay.
This is our newest beer. It's actually not on yet. It's a cream ale.
Oh, so you are making more all the time?
All the time.
Okay.
Yeah. One batch, I mean, they all vary, but depending on how quickly they sell, I mean, one batch will last probably 2-3 weeks.
It's funny you say cream ale, originally from Buffalo, New York.
Oh, okay.
There's I don't know if you're familiar with the area, but there's a beer out there, only in that area, called Genesee beer.
Genesee cream ale.
Genesee cream ale.
Yeah. And it was kind of funny because it's a style you don't find a lot around here. There's not a lot of brewers making it, but it's sort of starting to become more popular.
Now, do you use lactose in your cream ale? Because some places do that, I've been told. Okay.
No, we use, of course, malt, but one difference in a cream ale from a lot of the other beers is that we will use sugar, actually add sugar directly to the beer, also flaked corn. Flaked corn is actually one of the reasons a lot of people who like Bud Miller Coors like cream ale has to do with the fact that there's corn in both beers. The corn gives it a lightness and makes the body a little lighter. And it definitely has its own flavor. If you taste a cream ale side by side with any other standard ale, there is definitely a distinctive corn flavor that you get in there. It doesn't taste like corn on the cob, but it lends a sweetness to the beer that you don't get really with all the others that don't have corn. So kind of creates its own character.
This one will be ready about the middle of August.
This one, yeah, it's about halfway done now. I think we put it in, yeah. So, and it's going pretty quickly. We had fresh, healthy yeast, and it does a good job right away. It eats right through it. So, it may be on, yeah. And the other thing too, we're waiting till the coals. We're gonna replace the coals for the time being with this. So as soon as that's gone, probably is when we're running this.
So now you come back in a couple weeks.
Now, what are the brew logs for?
Well, for consistency.
Okay.
We want to make sure that we're not only following the recipe, but also fermentation, monitoring temperature. Temperature's a huge deal. A couple degrees can make a big difference in how the yeast reacts to the beer. Yeast can be a little finicky in that way. They're little creatures, and different strains act differently, and that is that's one of the primary differences between lagers and ales is the temperature and the amount of time that it takes for them to actually ferment out the beer. So.
Lagers take longer normally, correct?
Yeah.
Because they're a bottom fermenting beer as opposed to the ales which ferment on the top.
Yeah, exactly right. So, but yeah, kind of interesting stuff. So yeah, we've got we do have the stout in there right now. 7 barrels of it, and once it's done here, ferments out. Once we've determined that it's finished beer, we'll transfer it from one of those.
Wow.
One of these. So obviously everything's temperature controlled. The great part is that in terms of freshness, you can't get any fresher than what we're doing right here because it's going directly from here to your glass. So I mean, you have no middleman. There's no trip down the road. I mean, it's right there.
Yeah, you don't need born-on dating when you're in the delivery room.
No. I mean, the fact that it doesn't see light or oxygen until it hits your glass. So I mean, because of the way that we keep it, it'll last. It could last way longer than we would ever even need. You know, we'll run through it way faster than, you know. So expiration or anything like that's not even an issue. Yeah, it's just.
Do you do the show or just have the other guy when you do the both?
Well,
Or-
it's kind of funny. What we originally set out to do was my partner would be brewing most of the time. His brother, who of course obviously grew up in the same house doing the same thing, brought his experience to the table too. He was living in Columbia when we started researching on this. We're like, we want you to come down and help us do this. And, I mean, he wasn't doing anything special, so he's like, oh yeah, okay, well, that sounds cool. So he came down, and what ended up happening, we didn't really know what to expect because there's nothing like this for 60, 70 miles.
Right.
And
In St. Louis, yeah.
And there's actually a new one in Houston, Missouri, of all places. Yeah.
But call before you head down there because I understand they don't always
Yeah.
have beer.
I think they usually have it, but they're purely production. They don't have a pub. It's, you know, you can walk in and buy a growler. I think that's it.
Right, and kind of like in Herman, they've got the Tin Mill, which is a production brewery.
Yeah.
And now they've actually got a winery up in Herman, or actually just to the east of Herman in Berger, that brews its own beer too. And for a while, they had a female brewmaster. They were the only one in the state that had a woman brewing beer.
You know, but it's growing in that respect. But yeah, so it went from being we're both named Josh. Josh was going to brew most of the time and be our head brewer. To now, we opened our doors and we ran out of beer in 6 days.
This is a good thing.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
It was a little like shocking because, you know, we'd been building up sort of anticipation. I mean, we're from here, and so we know a lot of people. Everybody knew what we were doing. It had been in the paper, and you know, people were actively interested. So when we did open, I mean, we didn't advertise. We didn't do anything. We just opened the doors and told some friends and family, like, "Hey, tomorrow's the day." And within 6 days, like, it was gone.
Wow.
So the demand was higher than we expected, which is great. But so what we ended up doing was Josh had to really devote all his attention to just the day-to-day operations and running the business, so he couldn't really brew very much. His brother Jason took over for the most part. We do have one other brewer who is a local guy. He's an award-winning home brewer. He lives in St. Robert, actually. But he's the president of the homebrew club in Rolla, and he's a great brewer. I mean, he was retired military, and the guy was seriously brewing at home like 3 days a week. I mean, this is like his hobby. It was his, you know, master hobby, and I mean, the guy can really make beer. So we felt like we needed one more body back here because you can do it with one person, full day like that, but it's a whole lot easier with 2 games or 4 games. But so yeah, we got 2 brewers, myself and Josh, managing and doing the operation side, and then we have some staff normally. Saturdays like this are quiet, so it's usually just one person, me or Josh, and then about 4 o'clock we start picking up and we get 2 or 3 staff to come in for serving and all that stuff. So,
This is gonna get.
yeah.
I'm hoping.
Yeah, we opened in December, and spring was really good. Summer is always quieter. We knew that ahead, going into it. It's just,
Crowd's not here.
yeah, I mean, people.
Kids aren't here.
Yeah, they go. The kids go home. Townies go on vacation, or you're going to St. Louis on the weekend, or a ball game or whatever. So, but we're already seeing they're moving the students back in. Parents are coming in with their kid. We expect it'll fall through spring is really going to be our bread and butter.
Awesome.
Cool.
But,
Thank you.
yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
Very nice.